Hey, it's the NFL guy. What's up, everybody? Hopefully, everybody had a great Tuesday. So, when I was at work, the ESPN alert came on my phone, and everything that Jets players feared and fans, Aaron Rodgers tore his ACL. Now, I feel really bad for the Jets because it would have been really fun to watch the Jets this year to see what they do with Aaron Rodgers. So, when I got off of work, the first thing I do when I get in the door, I grab the remote, turn on the TV, and either, depending what time I get off work, PTI is on or Around the Horn. So when I was sitting on the sofa and watching Around the Horn, they had the segment on there about the Jets and what would the Jets do next, because all they got is Zach Wilson. That's all. They have no third string quarterback at all, which is really weird. I think they've got someone on the practice squad, but I guess they did not bring him up for this game because nobody knew that Zach Wilson was going to be starting just 5 snaps into the game. So they were talking about could the Jets go and make a trade for Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. Obviously, he is going to be out for, I think, 4 games or 5 games still. So, I mean, that's a possibility. But do you want to make the trade when possibly Aaron Rodgers is going to be coming back next year? I mean, you got Zach Wilson, who's actually pretty decent. You know, he played pretty good last night. So he's going to be the future of the Jets going forward after Aaron Rodgers retires. So it's a mindset of basically win now. So that's a possibility. But honestly, I've never been a big fan of Kyler Murray. Honestly, I don't think he's really showed me anything in Arizona. So I don't know if that's the best bet to go to. There was other talks on Around the Horn about them going to sign Joe Flacco. He's 38. He would obviously be the backup. Joe Flacco is not starting for the Jets, but they need a backup. And there's also a possibility. I remember way back, Philip Rivers said, hey, the door's not closed. You know, if I get the itch to play maybe 1 year and the opportunity strikes, you know, maybe I would come back. Philip Rivers, they mentioned Philip Rivers. Could Philip Rivers come and maybe back up Zach Wilson? Or I would even start Philip Rivers. I've always been a big fan of Philip Rivers. I've always liked him with the Chargers. So that's a possibility. I don't know. I'm sure there's some other options, some quarterbacks that got cut. But yeah, so I don't know. They need somebody. So it'd be interesting to see what the Jets does going forward. Also, real quick, Seattle Seahawks signed Jason Peters to a 1-year deal. And also, real quick before I head out, Dan Orlovsky was talking about it on, I think it was NFL Live before I headed out to walk the dog. But they were kind of talking about it on Around the Horn today. Basically, this is what I like. Radio analysts and analysts on TV kind of drive me nuts at times. Okay, so Josh Allen played a bad game. Okay, it's the first week of football. Okay, everybody's getting the kinks out, and they pretty much was already writing off Josh Allen. I'm like, okay, so all this talk about Josh Allen and how bad he played and 3 interceptions, blah, 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 and all this crap. So why not include Joe Burrow in the same sentence as Josh Allen? I mean, he played bad. I mean, look at his fantasy numbers. He had 2 fantasy points. Joe Mixon had a bad game. Joe Mixon had 9 fantasy points. Jamar Chase had 8 fantasy points. All 3 of them played a really bad game. The Bengals are going to bounce back. The Bills are going to bounce back. They are going to be fine. It just drives me nuts when they're just like, oh, well, the Buffalo Bills, they're in trouble going forward. And, one guy, who was it? Was it on Daily Wager was like, he was like, yeah, I bet you the Bengals are going to miss the playoffs. I'm like, dude, lay off the weed. Stay off the weed. I mean, what drugs are you taking to make a statement like that the Bengals are going to miss the playoffs? I'm like, I can't even take that guy serious. So, but anyway, that's a little bit of NFL news I had to pass along, you guys. In the comments section, what do you think should the Jets do? Should the Jets go out to try to get a veteran quarterback as the backup or the starter? I don't know, but I bet you maybe, I don't know, by Sunday, maybe next week. Well, they got to think of something because they need a backup really quick. So I could totally see them signing someone to a 1-year deal just to probably back up Zach Wilson, because I don't see any other quarterback coming in and taking Zach Wilson's job, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. So anyway, have a great night, everybody. Take care.